Greetings, everyone. You have found the new 5-Door channel. Episode 1, Season 1, however we want to describe it, this is the first one. I actually hadn't planned on recording a video today at all, but I got it set up and I figured no time's better than now. The streets have been calling for a video or a channel for years, would probably be a stretch. More like days or weeks, maybe months. And by streets, I mean a couple of people, but hey, it's a couple of people that really matter to me. So here we go, first episode. What are we talking about on this channel? Well, these two things are a clue. It'll mostly be knife-related content, knife and, I guess, knife-adjacent kind of content. So this happens to be what I had on me today, so you people need something to look at while I yap. So here we go. Many of you probably know Satu Dave, probably the best guy in the knife world globally. I don't think anyone could ever find a bad thing to say about Dave. And Dave's really urged me to do this. And especially we were together at Blade Show, Texas. And he said, you really need to do a channel and talk about Blade, Texas and all. So, all right, topic number 1 will be Blade, Texas. But first, what is this channel mainly going to be about? I don't know entirely. I don't know the format. It's more just us kind of hanging out. I don't want to take Dave's catchphrase of sitting and bullshitting, but essentially that's what it is. So we'll talk knives. I tend to carry a modern and a traditional, so you'll get a little bit of both of those. I'm also into pens, and I have a lot of pens, so we'll probably talk a lot of pens. And really anything else, maybe a couple of flashlights. I'm really trying not to go down that rabbit hole, though. So, and then we'll wrap it up with maybe a music topic. I know Ultimate EDC Rick, he always talks movies. I'm more into music, so maybe we'll have a little music topic here at the end. So, knives on the table. Like I said, it's just what I had on me. Emerson Sachs and a Case Mini Copper Lock. The Emerson Sachs is still probably my overall favorite Emerson. It's just fantastic. This one's got great action. It's got a great precision, big old disc on it. I think it's on Teflon. Normally, if given the option, I tend to put stuff on Teflon washers. So Emerson Sachs on these scales are from Andrew Charlotte on Instagram. I think he's Fast No 1S, something along those lines. Let me know if you're interested. And then one of my favorite patterns here, the Case Mini Copper Lock, and I'm a sucker for acrylic, especially when it's glittery. So that's the two knives I had on me. So let's chat about Blade, Texas. This was a few months ago, so a very timely video that you're getting today, but it was my third trip to Blade, Texas. I went to the first one, which I think was 5 years ago, maybe 4. I don't know. And then I went last year and I went again this year. And if you listen to people that go to knife shows, they invariably say that the fun of the show are the people, it's less the knives, which is absolutely true. And that's absolutely why this year was the most fun one yet. Because I had the chance to meet up with some friends. Satu Dave, who most of you know, Scotch and Things, Steve, who the same people know him, and as well as Ultimate EDC Rick, handle is Ultimate EDC. We had a chance to get together and spend some time together, and it was really the highlight of the show. In general, on knife shows, I'm just looking to walk around, learn some stuff, talk to some people, but I'm normally not in a big buying mode, other than I do want to get at least one knife. So this year the knife was a Dwyer, which I don't have on me, but we'll talk about it later. But then the masterpiece, the showcase knife of probably certainly all my bigger knives was a Barefoot Bruiser's Origin number 14. That I bought from Dave directly. There'll be a video about that, and that knife definitely bears some discussion. But alas, I didn't have it on me today, and this is a bit of an impromptu video, so Emerson and Case are what you get today. Other things in pocket today, as with most days, we have a handkerchief. This one from my guy Forrest Hanks, and a couple pens, Grimsmo Saga, and a Machine Era. I believe it's called the Draftsman. Couple things about this. I made fun of people in their handkerchiefs for quite a while, because for a while in the knife community, I'm generally never going to say EDC. I hate that acronym. It won't come up very often. But I mocked people that had handkerchiefs. You know, you're spending $20, $30 on a handkerchief. Well, it turns out it's probably the most useful thing you can carry. And now I've got a stack of them and don't leave home without them. So this was today's Grimsmo Saga. Everybody knows the Saga. If you're into machined pens, this is the legend. Probably the best clicker pen, at least I've ever experienced. And always this is definitely in the heavy rotation of pens. I have about 10 probably that I rotate, and I carry 2 or 3 a day, so it tends to be the same ones. This one, however, the Machine Era Draftsman, is probably, I think it's my newest pen, and it's instantly in the heavy rotation. Just a fantastic pen with an Energel tip or Energel refill, 0 tip wiggle. You can, well, probably shouldn't write on your leather desk mat, but I've done it other times. So anyway, absolutely fantastic pen. I think you can still get those at the Machine Era site, and they're under $100. I can't believe how good this thing is, especially for the price, but even irrespective of the price, it's a third of the cost of the Saga, and well, you see what I'm carrying. So that's in the pockets today. And I'd like to have a little section here about music. You know, Rick does a movie section, and I always enjoy it because I don't know much about movies, and I don't really watch many movies. So it's always interesting to get his recommendations. And I'll tell you, I've watched a couple of them, and they were fantastic recommendations. So off the cuff, I hadn't really picked out a music topic, but it's the first episode. We should start with the greatest band ever conceived, Guns N' Roses. I could talk for hours about this band, but I won't, not in this video anyway. But I've been listening to Use Your Illusions 1 and 2 a lot more the past month or so, and just am reminded how good those 2 albums are. And I understand they were somewhat concept albums, so there's some tracks in there that frankly are terrible. But I get the experiment that Axl was doing a lot to try to experiment. But really, excluding those tracks, just some brilliant gems on those 2 albums. And some of it I'm only appreciating now, 30 years later. Oh, almost, what is that, 35 years later? Axl's lyrical content was really elevated at times on this album, and it really shows through. I'm only now realizing it because for years, well, really even including now, I don't care about lyrics. I don't look to entertainers for education or wisdom or even their opinions on stuff. They're entertainers. It's the court jester. So I don't entirely understand it when entertainers are political figures and that kind of thing. It's just kind of silly. It's kind of silly. But man, he was really on one on these 2 albums. Listen to Breakdown. He really dives into it there, and I could prattle on, but it feels like I'm already doing that. In terms of the bad songs, like in Get in the Ring, I get it that Axl had a beef with some porn monger, a whole song about it. Knocking on Heaven's Door remake. I didn't like the original. They did what they could with it and made the cover of it, palatable, but kind of I'm not big into that song. There were a few others. The Garden, you can tell that even Slash doesn't like this song. It's the most boring song until Slash's solo. In fact, that's the takeaway here. Go listen to The Garden by Guns N' Roses and see if you agree that the whole song puts you to sleep. And then by the time Slash gets a solo, he goes crazy on it. Basically sets the song on fire with a fantastic solo, which in the time was especially important too, because you had these sort of guitar hero battles. Not meaning a video game. But everybody wanted to be like the top axe man back in the 80s. And obviously Slash was never like number one overall as long as Eddie Van Halen was alive. In terms of solos and that kind of thing. He was never the virtuoso of like a Steve Vai. But Slash was always in that conversation, and he really put himself in it at various times on these two albums. The solo in The Garden is a great example of it, so go check it out. That's all I have. We're going to be doing a giveaway. Why am I saying we? It's me. I'll be doing a giveaway pretty early in the life of this channel. I was going to do it on my first episode, but I didn't bring the knife with me. So stay tuned. I'm not really doing it to attract viewers, so if you're in the community, you enjoy knives, by all means spread the word to like-minded people, but don't bring people here just for free shit. That's not the point of this channel. I want to give stuff away to my friends, and if it's just as Stevie and Maddie say, turd burglars, I'm not really interested in those folks either. So stay tuned. There will be more episodes, and that's it. I'm going to leave some dead air at the end of this, because I like to always hit the like and maybe comment on a video, but like Steve just cuts it off. Like he's done talking and he throws his phone out the window. I'm not doing that. I'll let it run. Also, it'll probably take me a second to figure out how to turn this off. So thank you for watching. Oh, there it is.